Okay, I thought I'd give you an idea of this absconding problem from Kirkham Open Prison. Uh, to be honest, it looks like there have been this year, as far as I can see, there have been three. But having said that, the number that the media have said, and they do say where they get their figures from, doesn't seem to marry up with the number of appeals for information that I can see. So either the media have exaggerated, or um, the they haven't always put out an appeal. So almost 20 offenders have absconded. Now, this is in 2019, have absconded from Kirkham Prison in the last 12 months. 18 offenders have absconded from HMP Kirkham over the past year. That sounds very. Oh, hold on. According to police appeals. Oh, almost 20. Got it right. Yeah, 18. So, yeah. That's in 2019. So I don't know if it's all settled down a bit or what. So, but it's still the people that have absconded this year. At least one of the three is a violent offender. I can't remember the other, but we'll come to it. Public warned do not approach on the run prisoner with violent past. That was in 2022, in February. Mark Beleaguer, also known as Mark Yates, absconded from an open prison last week. And I won't show you the rest of the article. There's nothing really to it, to be honest. They don't really say much. But it was from Kirkham. And that is he. That's Mark Yates. This was in 2016. 10 convicts on the run. 10 convicts have absconded from one open prison in the past 5 months. God, I could just imagine them all going at the same time. You just read the headline, that's what you think. 2 inmates walked out of HMP Kirkham on Wednesday. 2019, violent prisoner escaped from HMP Kirkham. A man is wanted by police after absconding from prison. Michael Doherty, 27, absconded from HMP Kirkham on Saturday. And this is 2019 as well. I think it was a pretty bad year, 2019. Police hunt, they made up for it the next year, though. They didn't really go anywhere much, did they? It's funny because we'll come to it. You'll laugh at one of the articles. Police hunt Burnley man after he absconds from prison. Lee Conroy, formerly of Talbot Street, Burnley, absconded. Sorry, I'm walking the dog and the jogger's just going past me, and I don't want to look like I'm reading the news. Lee Conroy, 44, formerly of Talbot Street, Burnley, absconded from HMP Kirkham yesterday and has failed to return. He is described. Sorry, you're not going to find out how he's described, but luckily they've got him again. That was, I can't remember what year that was, but it wasn't this year. 2 more absconded from HMP Kirkham. I'm just trying to show you the scale of this, the risk really. And we'll also have a look at, because I was kind of wondering, well, what is an open prison? Like, how open is open? What does that mean? And so I've got a little section on that as well, which is interesting. Jack Joinson, previously of Middlewich Road, but now residing in HMP Outcourse, absconded from HMP Kirkham on April the 18th, and police appealed to the public for help in locating him, saying not to approach him as he could be violent. This is Paul Wilson. We are appealing for the public's help to trace. Now this is the guy. This is the other 2023 guy. This is the 8th of February, this guy. Oh, sorry, no, the 8th of February the article is. So let's see if it tells us the date he went. We are appealing for the public's help to trace 49-year-old Paul Wilson, who is wanted on recall to prison. Wilson has failed to return to HMP Kirkham after being granted a temporary licence from prison. He is described as white, 6 foot tall, owns a fluffy dog. That didn't say that. That's not even funny. Of medium build with green eyes. Inquiries are ongoing to locate Wilson and return him to prison. Oh God, more people coming. Wilson is originally from the Hoyton area, but has links to Blackpool and Brighton. And this one is an old one. I don't know if I've already read a bit about Thomas Parkinson. I've come across it already. So he was on the run. Oh, this is it. Lags Haven. Fewer prisoners have escaped prison during lockdown as they feel safer inside. So, this is 2021. So, which lockdown? All the lockdown? How many lockdowns did we have in the end? 3, was it? Yeah. So let us move on to. Oh yeah. So we'll come to this bit, and we might have to. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this because I'm having to do it all over again because my phone's just corrupted. And what's going on? And I've got a bit that I need to add on to the end. Or shall I do it all over again? I probably should just do it over again, it'd be quicker. So, man wanted in Thornton Cleveland. So this is not somebody who's wanted from prison, but I thought I'd mention it anyway because it's something that I noticed quite a while ago, and I've been meaning to get round to it. So it seems to be an opportune moment. So, man wanted in Thornton Cleveland for skipping court on Class A drugs charge. And this man is Levi Granger, 27 years old. He was due to appear at Preston Crown Court on November the 16th. The 27-year-old was due to appear, let's say it over again, in connection with a charge of having Class A drugs on him. So I don't know how dangerous at all he is. It doesn't actually say that he is. He was also being charged with intent to supply. Police say the man is wanted in the Thornton Cleveland area. Granger is described as being 5'10" with blonde hair, stocky build, and has tattoos on his arms. He also has links to the Blackpool and Fleetwood areas. Doesn't say anything about don't approach him or anything. So, but this has never been updated that they found him. So what happened? Is it just gone? But while we're looking at someone who has links to the Fleetwood and Blackpool areas, let's have a look at Fleetwood and Blackpool. So, nope. Trigger happy. I'm always pressing the wrong button. Right. So, we'll look at Thornton Cleveland first, actually. So, Thornton Cleveland, let's have a look at the crime in Thornton Cleveland. So, there's a wide variation as we'd expect. Thornton Cleveland, about 27,000 people. This is January. And violence / sexual offences, 12. And antisocial behaviour, 8. Sounds like it's not a big town. 27,000 is not many for a town. So But wait for it, because you are not going to believe Fleetwood. So let's just see how far Thornton is from St Michael's. It's 17 minutes from St Michael's, and there are, I need to sort of tell you about some of the crime around there, because there are a lot of problems really. Okay, I hope you could hear me before, right? Because I think the volume might have been down a little bit. Fleetwood, January 2023. So it's pretty shocking, because there's only about 30,000 people live in Fleetwood, and look at violence and sexual offences, 48. I can't remember what Thornton was. What was it? 10, 12, 15, something like that, which it's not great, but this is nuts. It is a real problem area, Fleetwood, and yeah. So information about Fleetwood. Fleetwood is the most dangerous medium-sized town in Lancashire, and is among the top 10 most dangerous overall out of Lancashire's 236 towns, villages and cities. The overall crime rate in Fleetwood in 2022 was 125 crimes per 1,000 people. This compares poorly to Lancashire's overall crime rate, coming in 51% higher than the Lancashire rate of 83 per 1,000 residents. For England, Wales and Northern Ireland as a whole, Fleetwood is the 27th most dangerous medium-sized town, and just to put that in perspective, there's over 1,000 medium-sized towns in the UK, and the 401st most dangerous location out of all towns, cities and villages. And going down to the last paragraph, the most common crimes in Fleetwood are violence and sexual offences, with 1,484 offences during 2022, giving a crime rate of 57. This is 7% higher than 2021. Fleetwood's least common crime is robbery. Shouldn't be saying anything about vehicle theft being a problem. I can't see anything there. So yeah, Fleetwood is not the safest of places, and Fleetwood is, just looking at how far Fleetwood is from, yeah, here we go. So Fleetwood is 24 minutes from St Michael's. Blackpool. I'm just going to tell you that Blackpool's crime rate in crimes just is it seems to be, from what I can see, less than Fleetwood. But I have there are certainly problems, and although I think Blackpool is bigger than Fleetwood, but you can have a look for yourself. But Fleetwood is a massive problem. And one thing that I noticed was that they never alluded to Fleetwood at all the whole time they were saying about searching the river. They always referred to it as Morecambe Bay, but if you look on a map, it's actually Fleetwood right at the end of the river, at the mouth of the river. And that might just be for some reason that's how they referred to it, but yeah, Fleetwood's a problem area. So just to look at, let's have a look at category D prisons. So I was quite surprised by some of this, so that's why I want to share it with you. So Cat D prison is also known as an open prison. Is like the heaven of prisons. When you've when you've gone from a closed prison into an open prison, it's like all restrictions have been lifted. So in category D prison, prisoners will see less time banged up. Usually their door is left unlocked or they have a key to their own room. They can access, I don't know what this means, ROTLs, such as RDR and RORs, whatever that means. So they get to leave the prison either for the day or for a maximum of 5 days, 4 nights, to spend at home as part of the resettlement that Category D prisons offer. Sorry, I'm just trying to find where something. A Category D prison houses a selection of inmates from fraud to murderers who could be coming towards the end of a lengthy sentence. They would be escorted via an officer for their first few times out of the prison to get used to the changed world since they were convicted. It also gives the family a chance to get used to a life with the prisoner again. Ministry of Justice states the main purpose of open conditions is to test prisoners in conditions more similar to those that they will face in the community. I think it's before this I was like, oh, really? The prisoners are deemed low enough risk in an open condition to apply to work outside of the prison. It's before that also. Wouldn't you know it? I can't find. I mean, it's just saying basically about how they're deemed trustworthy enough to be in an open prison. But how can you prove yourself to be trustworthy when you're in a locked environment? Like, if you know that you can't get out somewhere, you're not really going to try. So what? I mean, the fact that you haven't been violent, but some of these people are sexual offenders, and their sexual offences are towards women, and there's no women in there apart from women that work there. And okay, maybe they haven't attacked the women that work there, but I don't really feel like it's a very good test of how a person can react in a completely different environment when the rules are completely different. Do you know the door's open? That's a bit different from knowing that it's always going to be locked. It might have been in this article that I saw that actually. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that because this was interesting. So this is 19 hours ago, apparently. Nearly 600 dangerous lags have escaped prison from open prisons in the last 5 years. Statistics show that nearly 600 inmates, including murderers and sex offenders, have escaped from open prisons in the past 5 years. Among them are 133 for violent crimes such as manslaughter and murder, and 21 for sex offences. Nearly 600 have escaped from open prisons in the past 5 years. Yeah, he said that. More than 50 escaped their companions. Does that mean escaped with companions? Among those fleeing, not an escape, as they did not have to overcome any physical restraint, was Darren Pilkington. The double killer fled Kirkham. Have we talked about Darren Pilkington? Mm, what's that? This one's Thomas Parkinson. Oh, this is the guy who was spotted in McDonald's. Um, and according to figures at the time that this guy was missing, this is a while ago though. There were 4 people still at large from Kirkham. Just kind of giving you an idea. I mean, I don't know if they've improved how much they've improved things, if they've improved things. Um, there's one that's oh, this one made me laugh a little bit. Liverpool drug boss Nichols was on the run for 3 years. 3 years before police caught up with him. I hadn't clocked that it was 3 years, but they caught him after he flew a helicopter over an airport. It's better than McDonald's. Did it in style. The big-time heroin and cocaine peddler had been a fugitive since fleeing Kirkham Prison in 2015, so this must have been 2018. The then 36-year-old claimed he fled custody because he was becoming under pressure from other inmates who wanted him to smuggle illegal. It was his fault. If he wanted it, could have been. I mean, I don't know. There he is, Mr. Flash, flying a chopper over the airport. Doesn't really sound like a drugs mule. So he escaped by failing to return from weekend leave and became a fugitive. Until he guided the chopper into Rochester Airport in Kent. Oh, he guided it in. Well done. He'd been serving a 9-year stretch for a 1.5 million Class A drugs plot. Wow. And he got, oh my God, do you know what? He was only given 6 months. Somebody else was given 8 years for absconding. Ah, oh, he's obviously given him a backhander, hasn't he? Not a backhander. What's it called? He's paid them off. That's what I'm saying. Might have given him a backhander as well. Is there anything else? Burglar Sean Price took advantage of the lax security in an open prison. Yeah, there was some. Well, they said a bit more detail than that I read in the end. Ugh, I don't know. Too much information. Sneaky thief ransacked 2 St. Helens homes just before Christmas in 2015. Oh, that was what he did before he left. Wonder if they get up to anything when they go, or do they behave to keep on the low down? Keep on the down low? Keep on the down low, not the low down. Oh dear. Okay. Shoebox was found on his bed containing 2 packages of heroin. This is somebody McConnell. Yeah, so all these people were escaping Kirkham prison. So, yeah, basically, that's the headline there. And that a man from Thornton Cleveleys, who was supposed to appear in court, did not do so in November. They put it in the paper, online paper, in December, and there has not been an update as to whether this fella was caught. But every cloud has a silver lining, so because they don't say do not approach him. So let's assume he's not violent, but who knows? Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Just one other thing that I wanted to show you is the violent and sexual offences and the outcomes, just to compare. So we have January 2023 under investigation, so that's good to hear. But then we have unable to prosecute suspect 3 times. Then we have under investigation. Then we have further investigation. is not in the public interest. That's an interesting one. There's two of those. Then unable to prosecute suspect, then under investigation, unable to prosecute suspect, awaiting court outcome, under investigation, under investigation, under investigation, under investigation, unable to prosecute suspect, unable to prosecute suspect, under investigation, investigation complete, no suspect identified, under investigation twice, unable to prosecute suspect 3 times, local resolution, I'm interested to know what on earth that means, under investigation twice, unable to prosecute suspect, under investigation, unable to prosecute suspect, further investigation is not in the public interest, unable to prosecute. This is weird because these are personal attacks. So what's it got to do with the public? This isn't a public disorder. This isn't antisocial behaviour. Violent and sexual offences come under personal attacks that happen within the home. And what on earth does it matter whether it's in the public interest or not? Unable to prosecute suspect 4 times, 5 times. Investigation complete. No suspect identified. Further investigation is not in the public interest. Unable to prosecute suspect twice. Awaiting court outcome. Further investigation is not in the public interest. Under investigation. Unable to prosecute suspect. Local resolution. And then 3. Unable to prosecute suspect. So just to give you an idea. And I will say that I've looked through a lot of this in a lot of different towns now and villages, and there is so much unable to prosecute suspect, unable to prosecute suspect, unable to prosecute suspect. And I have gone completely off piste, haven't I? I think I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to stop this video right here. If there's anything I need to add, I'm going to do an extra bit to this video because I feel like I've just run out of steam. I can't talk any longer. This is the longest video I've done, I think. So I might add some more information to this. But yeah, so the original message was, if I put off-piste at the beginning of one of my videos, it basically means that this is not related, not necessarily related to Nicola Bulley's disappearance. It could be that it's a bit of a big picture thing, looking at the wider area, looking at the big picture, looking at other cases. It's probably likely to be something like that, and things that definitely don't directly link to Nicola's disappearance and may not have any bearing whatsoever. They might just be other cases. Often it's just looking at the approach that officials took with the cases. And that's made me think there are some cases I want to show you. So that'll probably be my next one. And I think that's about it. Okay, have a lovely day or night or morning or whenever it is that you are watching this.